Welcome to This Podcast is Making Me Thirsty, the number one destination for Seinfeld fans. This is Two Up and Two Down. Here's our producer, Chris, to start us off.
Okay, we got a great one to discuss today, and it's called The Pick. It's a great season 4 episode. So we're going to start off with Tony for your 2 ups. What's your first, Tony?
All right. This is a great episode. I got a lot of ups here in my notes. In fact, this is a game time decision right now. I'm going to go with just a simple up on this one. I'm going to go with just, you want a Christmas card? You want a Christmas card? Here's your Christmas card. Elaine shoving George's face into her breast and he coming up with the hair all disheveled. Just a classic scene. It could be replayed 100,000 times. It should be in the Smithsonian for crying out loud. That's my thumbs up. Elaine giving George the old Christmas card within the motorboat in there, and that's my thumbs up.
That's a good one. I was kind of jealous. I would rather have that than the card. So, Chris, let's go over to you. What's your first up?
Yeah, I love that scene when George comes home from the session with Dana Foley, Dina Hecht, friend of the show. For me, there's a reason this guy won Emmys, and it's Kramer. It's called The Pick, the nipple, this, that. But for me, Kramer steals the show here, right? From the little man knows all to I just want to get your dustbuster, and then how tall are you, to Calvin Klein talking to their flunkies. It's just Kramer at his absolute best of season 4. So for me, my one up is the K-Man.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that one. So back to Tony. What's your second up for this episode?
Yep. Definitely agree there as well. But I'm gonna go with my second up. Love this scene. Laugh every time I watch this scene. George and Susan in the coffee shop. George trying to win her back. Louis Pasteur. Pasteurization, homogenization, milk consumed with milk. She knows about fumigation. He's just working his way through just to win this girl back any which way he can, even though in the end he hates himself for doing so. I just love him talking himself out of it. He knows about homogenization. She knows about fumigation. They make it work. I'm like a rock. People say they don't know. Yeah, that whole thing there. Just George doing his thing there where he lies to everybody. Love Costanza in that particular scene. That's my second thumbs up.
All right, yeah, that is a good George scene there. So back over to Chris. What do you got for your second up?
The Pick is just packed with big moments. We've already mentioned many of them. For me, my second up is just the nipple scene when Jerry finally gets the card. And, he reveals it to Elaine, and then they bring in Newman. It's early stages of Newman for sure, and just really impactful. They didn't waste anything with Newman. Your nipple showing. Boom, and he leaves. I mean, just Tom Sharonis at his best right there. And then obviously, Jerry and Kramer wrap it up with, we all, everybody's got him. I mean, for me, that's... again, vintage Seinfeld, season 4, thumbs up.
All right. Yeah. Thank you with that one. Yeah. Like I said, The Pick has so many great ups. You can't get to them all. So that's the name of the game. Just like we can't get to all the ups, I don't think there's that many downs. So I'm interested to hear, Tony, what do you got for your first down?
Yeah, you want to talk about nitpicking, and obviously it's called The Pick. But you got it. This is why we do the show, right? We got to find it down. My first thumbs down is Tia, I believe her name is, the Calvin Klein model. Jerry tells a joke about getting a fish tank, which probably could be tied into this down, and if it dies, I'll just flush on the toilet. And she just screams, "That's horrible!" Like, just it's overacting. I don't know. It just doesn't fit the occasion. What she flips, it just yells at her out of nowhere. Just that's horrible thing. I mean, it just doesn't fit. I don't know. Nothing against the actress. Beautiful woman. Love to have her on the show. But I think that's going to be my thumbs down. The Tia exclamation when Jerry mentions the flushing the fish down the toilet bit. That's my down.
All right, no problem. Chris, what do you got for your first down of this episode?
It's a solid down there, Atia. For me, it's the beginning of the show with George singing, and he's kind of pining over Susan. I don't know. Like the other scenes with Susan, fine, but it was just a little much. Oh, Susan! Like just his song went.
If you happen to see,
yeah, I like Jerry's kind of reaction, but George, a little over the top, little much. Again, I'm getting nitpicky here, but didn't really fit George in that sense. But that's my one down. George singing.
No, I'll definitely go with that as a down. I agree with that. That's a good point. Back over to you, Tony. What's your second down here?
Yeah, funny because I thought I give that an up. What O'Hara just mentioned, but you know, I could see that's a little bit too much at times. But my other down is going to be the first Calvin Klein scene with Kramer when it's just Calvin Klein, when Kramer first walks in. Calvin Klein's kind of talking to him, and it just obviously shows that it's a little awkward. Obviously, Kramer is going to steal a scene, but this is before they bring them all in to look at Kramer. It's just him and Calvin Klein together. Slight down, just a little stiff, you know, a little stiff. So that's a down there.
Okay, all right. And back over to Chris. Your second down and final down.
Yeah, the Calvin Klein thing, that was one of my ups. Him mentioning that he talked to one of his flunkies. So when Kramer says flunky, I mean,
that's
gold.
Kramer, though. That's Kramer. I'm putting aside Kramer.
So, but back to Calvin Klein. My other down, again, Jerry's speech at the elevator. I am not an animal. And then they shift to Elaine, you know, nipple on my soul. You know, I'm nitpicking here, but it was just a little much, and I get the theme of it, but for me, a little much, you know, the pick, and listen, the episode's called The Pick, I get it, but I don't know, just the way they exited and Jerry yelling, I didn't love that kind of scene at the elevator. That's my one down for The Pick, which is, you know, obviously an episode I love.
All right, no, I see that. What I don't understand, and it became a down for me, is again, I know that the whole exposed nipple thing is one of the main storylines, but what woman wouldn't check or scrutinize her photo of herself and not notice that? I mean, was she no bra either? So just the fact that Elaine let that slip by, it doesn't seem plausible to me, but you know, still a great episode nonetheless. So yeah, I appreciate you guys 2 ups and 2 downs. So let's wrap it up with your final grades, and back to you, Tony. What's your final grade?
Yeah, I mean, I'm cheating a little bit here because I'm going to talk about what my grade is. I'm going to slip in another up, obviously. I mean, this is one of Jerry's greatest episodes of the entire show, I think. I know I didn't care for the speech, maybe a little bit nitpicking, but his she's a model on the plane I met while he's eating the cereal. Oh, Christmas card from Laney. You know, Kramer comes in with the dust buster. I mean, you know, people being helped by other people. That's what I love about. I mean, Jerry destroys in this episode. One of Jerry's greatest episodes of all time, in my opinion. And I also think it's one of the best episodes of all time, obviously, after saying that. So I give it an A. Just a solid A. The Pick is going to go down. I mean, you can watch this 100 times over. A for The Pick.
All right. Yeah, definitely an A. I definitely agree with that. So, Chris, what's your final grade here?
Yeah, listen, hard to argue, you know, any of those points. You went a little higher than I thought. But, yeah, listen, like I said, Kramer at his best. I mean, all 4 pretty much at their best. You know, if I had to ding anyone, I think Elaine and Kramer carried the episode. Again, it's hard to argue George and Jerry, but to be fair and knowing what I know, I'm giving this an A- for The Pick.
All right. Well, thank you guys. That was a good one to go over. That was excellent job there. So let's wrap this one up and let's go on to the next one.